Well, Week 10 is finally officially over, so let's take a look at the highlights starting out on Thursday, where Pennsylvania hosted Atlanta there. King Blockman had the former goaltender last season for Pennsylvania. He did not have his best of the night as he did all season. This team is in the playoff hunt, and they have to have a stellar finish, and this loss to Pennsylvania will make it even harder. They did have some positive notes to go off of, but just not good enough for the stellar Pennsylvania team, and Pennsylvania's offense continuing to have a great season as they did last season and many seasons before. So Pennsylvania remains on top of their conference. As we look at another big race over here, Las Vegas in the hunt big time. They put up a big performance against New York tonight, who New York was technically in the hunt, but after this they are out, and Las Vegas will remain in after a win. So we head over to New England for a big matchup against the conference leaders in the National Conference. New England, of course, pretty close to securing a playoff spot, and they had an amazing night against one of the best teams. It was a great matchup between both of them, back and forth battle. But this offense for New England had an amazing night, as they have almost every game this season, putting up point after point. And Texas had some great responses to battle back, and it was so close that it could not be done in regulation. And just look at the speed from the offense. Defense had a bit of a lackluster game on both sides, and this one went to overtime. And this one right here almost sneaks in behind Dakota, but in the end, New England and the former lead scorer before being replaced with Riley Tungsten Reed on the right side of Tungsten was able to get the game-winning goal in overtime, and Texas now made things very interesting in the battle for the first seed in the National Conference as we head over to the most controversial matchup of the week. As you can see, connections weren't very great here. The lights were on and off in the stadium as Colorado has announced that they will be selling the team, and the players in protest refused to play, leading to controversy, and the score wasn't verified until later in the week. Head over to Cape Cod, where they hosted their rivals Kansas City, but Cape Cod clearly the better team and a clearly better performance after a very much struggling Kansas City team, which will keep Cape Cod an interesting situation. They will definitely be going for the top seed in the American Conference after a very strong showing at home tonight, going up against Pennsylvania. They're going to have a strong finish, though. Interested to see how that'll end up as West Virginia travels over to Phoenix. Phoenix also now, after the loss by their rivals Texas, looking for the top seed. It should be an interesting finish to the season. St. Louis was off this week, I believe, and had an amazing performance over at West Virginia in this one. West Virginia did still have some good moments. They're trying to go and get that final spot in the playoffs. Might have to wait a little bit longer if they lose this one, and they did. So Phoenix, definite contenders for the top seed as we head over to Colorado. Colorado struggling this season, going up against a great Great Britain team. Great Britain with the early goal in this one, and Colorado in the 6th spot, just outside the playoffs, and Great Britain comfortably in. And Colorado did put up a big fight here, as they know they're going to have a strong finish, but it wasn't enough, and Great Britain won in overtime as we head over to Kansas City, where they played twice this week, this time against Tampa Bay, who also has a shot to get a pretty good seed if they have a really good finish, and this will help in a dominant performance against Kansas City. So Kansas City will not be going to the playoffs. Tampa's already in, and this will help their chance for seed. They're currently in the 3rd spot, trying to get to 2nd or maybe even 1st with a strong finish, and Tampa Bay won this one. So let's go look at the standings. As you can see, Pennsylvania on top. If there's a Y next to the placement, they are in the playoffs. So Pennsylvania and Cape Cod, the division leaders on the American side, and the Nationals, St. Louis, who was off this week, still retaining the 1st spot. But Phoenix now knocked Texas out of the top spot, and Texas are all of a sudden in 3rd after a loss. So that should be a big fight. As you can see, Las Vegas and Colorado outside because Los Angeles has the advantage. So that should be a fun fight to the finish.